Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Just a very short video. A lot of people are asking how our work in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh is very different from other people. So I wanted to run through you the process. Obviously, I'm not aware of how every single charity is conducting their work out in that region, but I just want to quickly run through the way that Charity Right, alhamdulillah, is doing their work. Just before I get onto that, I've seen a lot of charities doing work out there, all with, I'm sure, very, very good intentions and all the goodwill in the world. There are manners and etiquettes of doing the work, and a lot of the time I feel that when I see these images, and the reason I'm making this video is because I've seen just an image like that. I've seen the Rohingya refugees who have gone through a traumatic time, having their homes burnt down, have had this 2 or 3 day journey into for some of them into Bangladesh, and now they're being forced to sit on the floor whilst somebody comes, the head of the organization or whatever it might be, to come and distribute a food pack. And all this for a photo opportunity. And there's 400 people almost sat down in what looks like muddy conditions. There's no dignity in this. There's no dignity or honor for the people that you're serving here. And I guess the fundamental thing that we need to remember is that we're there doing our job. We're there to make sure that we can help them, not to make them suffer any further. So very quickly, the way that Charity Right is distributing your aid right now. First and foremost, our Charity Right team goes out into the field. They're already used to this environment. I reminded you guys last time that we've been working there for the last 2.5 years. We would go out into the field. We would look for those families that can't just come to the front of the queue and get something. So for example, we've seen many images, many videos where there's a truck parked in the middle of 10,000 people and aid is being offloaded. The unfortunate circumstances there are the strongest people will get the aid. The men, the strongest people, they will get the aid. The women with young children, the elderly, they will probably remain at the back somewhere and will not benefit from the aid. So our teams, we don't distribute like this. We go out and we search for those people that we think will be the most vulnerable. Women with young children, adults, the elderly, etc., etc. And we don't take aid with us. We don't take aid in the first instance. We go out simply with a Charity Right book, with a Charity Right ticket. Once we've identified a family and we're content that this family is definitely the most needy at this moment in time, then we will provide them with a Charity Right ticket. The Charity Right ticket, and then explain to them where the food is being distributed. And they will go there and they will pick up their food. Now, in this distribution area, it's not presented like a distribution area. People won't see it from the outside as aid is being distributed. So the trucks will offload the food and they will remain there until we're happy to distribute. This family will come, they will collect their food, and then they will wait. We do make them wait because a lot of times they're unable to carry the food back to where they're living. If they're carrying a young child or they've got, if they're elderly, they're unable to carry the food back. So one of our volunteers will help the family back, help the person back to where they were. During that process, we also capture their details. We find out where they're from, what situation they've gone through, their details, their family breakdowns, so how many children they have, how many adults are in the family, and where they plan to move to. So hopefully we can retarget the same families over a period of time. The Charity Right food pack is £55. It provides food for an entire month. But that doesn't mean that we provide food in one go. We provide food on a weekly basis. So this family that we will take on, we will provide them enough food for a week and then go back to them the following week to make sure that we can provide again. Now there's 2 main reasons for this. First of all, it's a lot to lug around. It's a lot to handle. So if you're providing food for a family of 3 or 4 people, it's a lot of food that you're carrying around. And bearing in mind that you might be moving around a little bit, or you might have to move from one muddy area to another muddy area, it's going to be a lot of food. And the second thing is that it's downpour with rain, it's wind, it's all those weather conditions, unfortunately, that doesn't make life very easy. So for example, if you distribute a lot of food, you're going to find that the rain's going to fall and the 40 kilos of flour that you had has all got wet now, because you don't have in some cases, you don't have the protection or you don't have the shelter to keep you away from those weather conditions. So that quite simply is the Charity Right way of making sure that, we're providing food to the most vulnerable and we're doing it in a dignified way. So those pictures, and absolutely we need pictures as donors, as people in this country. We want to make sure that our donations are making the difference on the other side. But I guess the message to charities, to anybody who's doing that work, is let's not dehumanize those people. Let's not make them, almost feel like they're in a situation where they're having to beg or having to work with us to make sure that they can get a handout, essentially. Let's rise above that and make sure that, the food is distributed in a dignified way that has honor and has dignity at the core of the way that we distribute the food aid. That's all I'd like to say this time, and hopefully we see each other again soon.